Hey everybody, so anyway, this country is in peril. It's in a crazy crisis. And you know what I don't understand? How is it that the fat fucking chief, like Donald Trump, and you got assholes like Governor Greg Abbott and Gonzalez and Cruz and all these jack-off Republicans talk so much about gun rights. And they talk so much about having everyone wanting a gun, right? And they want everyone to have a gun and all this bullshit. What about our lives to be a right? How about our lives? What about us to be alive, motherfuckers? How about us? Our lives don't matter? Or just your guns and your fucking aborted fetuses? And then you got douchebags like Ben Shapiro and fucking Boebert, who, by the way, is an idiot because she couldn't even get a GED. It took her, 2 or 3 tries to get her GED? She also married her husband, who exposed his fucking dick to children, at a bowling alley. She is an alcoholic who's been arrested more times than Tupac. So fuck Boebert. Seriously, how high was everyone in Colorado to vote for her? You're a bitch. I'm angry. I'm angry and I'm tired. I'm tired of conservatives who don't give a shit. And then they spread false news. Like, I had this jack-off comment me and sent me a picture of a transgender person behind a transgender flag, and now you have Republicans spreading false information about that, trying to stir the pot again, trying to make it look like, oh, this transgender person hates children, and this is why the 19 children and 3 teachers died was because of a transgender. And there's no evidence of it. There's none. Unless you have conclusive evidence, don't be spreading false information like that. And like Bill Maher said on his show, this is gonna start civil wars by doing this crazy shit. You're just pissing people off even more. And this is why people don't like conservatives, because they're assholes. You're not pro-life. Just admit it. You're not pro-life. You care more about a fucking fetus than you do of actual human life, because those fucking kids in that classroom, they had heartbeats too, motherfucker, and I don't see you fuckers doing anything about it. You go, oh, our hearts and our condolences and our prayers go out to the victims and their families. Shut the fuck up. How about you actually go out there and pass legislation? How about you do something about it? How about you actually do something? How about instead you don't be a little bitch with your tail between your legs like the little bastards that you are, and actually pass legislation to prevent shit like this from happening? But you Republicans don't give a fucking shit about it. You don't pass anything. You deny every bill that gets passed. Because you're like, can't do it, we can't spend money. Even though Congress pretty much pulls money out of its own ass every day. We make our own money. We create our own economy. Literally every day. Both parties do it. Capitalism's bullshit. We all know it. Capitalism sucks. Look at what Walmart tried to do. They tried to sell Juneteenth ice cream. Are you fucking kidding me? Juneteenth ice cream? And then you have Marjorie Taylor Greene going, oh, we just saved the babies. We just saved the babies. 19 are dead. That's more than what any mother could actually do of an abortion. Scared to death of their lives. Running and hiding. While a person that is 18 couldn't get the mental help that he needs. Because here's the problem. When you live in a red state, like Texas, they deny all those rights. Here's the problem. When you live in a red state, they don't care about education. They don't care about gay rights. They don't care about trans rights. They don't care about abortion rights. They don't care about sex ed rights. All they care about is breeding 24/7. They don't care about rapes. They don't care about incest. Because as long as it's in their Bible, they don't give a flying shit. Which is ironic because it doesn't say anything about fucking guns in the Bible. They talk about, well, abortion is murder. Like this one lunatic on Facebook, I got in a huge discussion because Nick Adams is a fucking idiot. And he was saying all this dumb shit on there because he's this whack job from Australia who had to come to this country to mess up this country. Which is ironic because, you know, they did have a mass shooting in the 90s. And then they said, okay, no more guns. No more assault rifles. We're taking those away. And they didn't have a mass shooting. They didn't have crazy shit like that. New Zealand was the same way. They said, okay, we're going to get rid of assault rifles because they had a crazy nut job too who went after a bunch of people. It was a white supremacist. Same thing. And they got rid of assault rifles. And you know what's ironic? We did do an assault rifles ban. And here's the irony of all this shit that Republicans don't want to tell you about. I'm pretty sure George W. Bush was actually for assault rifles ban. I'm pretty sure Ronald Reagan was for assault rifles bans. And Republicans don't want to tell you that history, do they? They don't want to tell you that shit. But then you got Republicans like fucking Richard Nixon, you know, with his buddy doing the Melee Massacre, and you had one Hero Thompson who basically helped people and stopped the massacre from going any further. And then one of the guys who basically started the whole thing, he was like, no, I'm going to just have him acquitted from everything. And then he let him go free after he just mutilated all those people. It was one of the worst disasters in Vietnam's history and our country's history. So, yeah, Republicans are pieces of shit. It's just unbelievable. It's just... they're fucking dickheads. And then you got whack jobs like Ben Shapiro and saying all this bullshit, making lies up, and then they suck the dick of Fox News and that cocksucker Murdoch and everything. And they don't give a shit. They really don't give a shit about dead kids. As long as it's a fetus and they can breed more people, they don't give a shit. Which is ironic because, you know, Shapiro claims to be Jewish, right? So, isn't it very typical because all he cares about is money? And then he just doesn't care because of dead children. So, you know. I'm just getting really sick and tired of Republicans. And I'm getting sick and tired of the false narrative, too. Like, all this fake outage. Like, let's say if it is true that the person was transgender. Let's just put that out there. Let's say if the person was. Okay, well, then there's one hateful person that was shot by police. Okay? And it's depressing as hell. But you shouldn't, it doesn't matter if the person, whoever he was, doesn't matter. The person was mentally deranged, who should have got help. That you make it impossible in that fucking state. And on top of that, you do nothing for gun rights. You have Gonzalez, Abbott, and Cruz, who basically said that no background checks, no red flag laws, nothing. You don't have mental evaluation tests. You don't have an IQ test. You don't have gun shooting tests. You don't have any of that stuff. You realize how hard it is to get a fucking gun in Sweden? Or the loopholes of gun shows that they have in this country? It's insanity in this country. And then you have the internet, you have the dark web, you have all that stuff. And then you have ghost guns. You have 3D printers, and there's people doing this shit all the time. I mean, this shouldn't happen in this country. Since 99, of Columbine, we have had more shootings in this fucking country than anything else I've seen. We've had almost 1 million people die of COVID. We've had this many people die of shootings. We've had a lot of people die of car accidents, but here's the difference. Cars are actually regulated. Cars are regulated. How come guns aren't regulated? If something happens with a car or whatever, how come we can't sue? If there was something wrong with the car and there was a recall or something and there was something that was at fault, we could actually sue and win. How come we can't do that with gun manufacturers? Why can't we sue those motherfuckers? We should. We should be able to sue them. We should be able to sue Smith & Wesson. We should be able to sue all those motherfuckers. I'm just sick and tired of Republicans that only care about that shit. Anyway, I just think that the Republicans need to do a better job with our community because they really are sucking so bad right now, and I'm tired of it. So we need a better world for a better tomorrow. So vote this year and make sure that we vote out these goddamn Republicans, man.